Hey, what's up, fam? This is Michael from the Planet Eye, and today we have another unboxing. This one is actually from Equagenera's auctions. So this is, for those of you not familiar with that, essentially Equagenera holds Instagram auctions every Wednesday, definitely on Saturdays, but usually like Wednesdays and Saturdays. And you can go in and actually get access to some of their bigger plants. To be quite honest, you can actually see the plant that you're going to buy, and while simultaneously being able to have access to plants that are typically larger than what they ship. At least that's one of the things they talk about on the auction. You go in, you have your account number, and they have a code for each plant, and it can last anywhere from, I think Wednesdays is usually like 2 to 3 hours. And Saturday is almost like a job. You can get in at like, I think they start like around 7 o'clock their time in the morning, and then end around between 3 and 5, depending on the season. I think they've been going a lot shorter now because a lot of people aren't really, or at least in the northern hemisphere, aren't buying as much because it's cold outside. All right, so let's get started. And I went ahead and cut the box this time, so I wouldn't have to finagle with all of the madness. So let's see what we got here. The one that I'm really interested in seeing how it looked in person, because it looked huge on the screen. But this one, I got a bundle, and then I got a standalone, and then two standalone plants. For a total of about 5. So fun times today. All right, let me open this up. Need to have some scissors. Get some scissors and get through some of this tape and cellophane. Let's see, there we go. So this first one, I think a lot of you guys will probably know what this is once I open it up, but it was actually one of the last ones that I purchased during that auction, and I was like, I was hoping it would come a little faster than it did, but it didn't. So yeah, I'll get that later. All right. This one's a big one, guys. So yeah, I'm hoping that see what it looks like. Okay, some yellowing, but overall green, which is awesome. Okay, so this one is the philodendron patricii. Okay, trying to get myself in this picture too, but yeah, so this is the patricii. I'm going to look at the roots. Hopefully the roots are enough to sustain these plants. I've had some really ones. I've had some delivered that had some really nice leaves, and they pretty much fell off after about a few weeks or a month or so, and then they're generating new leaves, but it just took some time for that to happen. This one does have a growth point. It looks like a new leaf that's coming out. It's nice. It's definitely big. So I'm excited about that. So let's move this one to here for right now. So got this. All right, so let's see what the next one is. I think this one's probably, yep, this one I thought it was. Yeah, I actually have, and also, by the way, I do have a patricii that's much smaller. It's basically a patricii seedling. It lost its leaves. It does have a leaf that's coming in right now, so hopefully it's not over for it. But yeah, that's one thing about imports. The downside to imports is that they may have an acclimation process depending on your environment. And if you got an environment that actually, is high in humidity, warm or whatever, and then, basically like for most of us in the Northern Hemisphere, what summer would be like, for most of us. But if you have that, then you're golden. But if not, you got to use humidifiers, you got to use grow lights, and I have all of those. At some point, we'll do I know one of you guys requested I wanted to see a home tour, a plant tour. I am finishing up a couple of renos. Once I have that done, then I'll definitely do that. I'm thinking I'll probably have it done, be ready to do a home tour like in February or what have you. All right, so this next one is the Bessier F. Bessier F. I think you guys saw in one of my other boxes where I had one. This one's just a little bit bigger. It does have a growth point coming in right here, so that's great. Hopefully that will survive it. Sometimes when they're coming in, when they're being shipped in, and of course the trauma from shipping and acclimating to a new environment, they may abort any new leaves in the time being. But this one looks nice. I haven't had any problems with the other. I have two. Now I have three. I don't have any problems with the other two. It's great. Awesome. Let's put this down. All right. So that's number 2, right? Let's see. Let's get one of these bigger ones. This one is one that I did not. I had when I saw it. It was part of a bundle, and when I saw it, and by the way, those first two were part of the. Those first two were the individual ones that I said that I bought. But now we got the bundle coming up. So this first one is the, I just got to take the tag off, is the Anthurium ovitifolium. Anthurium ovitifolium. So it had leaves like, if you've seen like one of those, what is it? A Calathea ovifolium. I think that's how you say it. They have these round-ish type leaves that have that are ornate in terms of their ribbing. So this one was similar to that, and from my understanding, it's fairly easy to take care of it since it's not a velvet anthurium. But I just thought it was really nice. Had a really nice vibe to it. So looking forward to seeing how this grows. I think it grows pretty sizably. Some point I'll do some care videos and we can kind of talk about that. But this is the anthurium, and I'm looking down because I can't see. The Anthurium ovitifolium. Anthurium ovitifolium. So this is it. Really nice. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves, which is awesome. They definitely all are green. It probably needs to, let's say what I typically do is I'll soak them in an insecticidal soap / hydroperoxide, insecticidal soap, hydroperoxide, and a Castile soap, and let it soak for a little bit, and so that it can, if there are any bugs that hopped on either before or during plant transport, then hopefully I'll knock them off initially, and then I'll pot them up in an aeroid mix. So that's pretty much it. So that's the ovitifolium. So this next one, let's see, what is this one? Okay, so this next one is no stranger to the game. He's been here before, at least his cousins have. This one is called, and I know you guys know what this is, because he's the king. He's considered the king. That could be a hint of anthurium. So this is a smaller one. Smaller than I thought it was, but it was actually pretty decent. I mean, it was part of the bundle, so I kind of wanted the other two, and so this one was along with it. So I was like, I got a bunch of them, but this would be enough. So I'm going to probably cut this one off. Now this one's definitely about to go up yonder. And then that still leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves. Really nice. I like the fact that his ribbing is already coming in, so it's at that level of maturity. I said I have like about 5 right now, including this one will be about 5. So yeah, it's nice. So the next one is another one I had never heard of before, but I was like, okay, well, you know, let's do some different types of it. It's an anthurium, and I was like, you know what? I like that's been my grind this year is anthuriums. Last year was like self-handing philodendrons, and then like more, the ones that are like really hardy, and some ferns. But now this year I've been like really digging the anthuriums. So this one is, let me finish moving before I do the unveiling. Let me actually get to a point where I can unveil. All right. Okay, so this one is the anthurium Michelii. Michelii is well, I'll put it on the screen. Michelii. Really cool. I like the spade-like leaves structure. I looked it up before I actually made a bid on it, but now I can't remember exactly what it said. But it's kind of like your typical standard anthurium. Is pretty hardy. Definitely wants a certain level of humidity, and definitely likes to stay moist but not wet when it comes to being watered. So for me, that means when it gets about 4 or 5 on the moisture meter, I'll typically water it, give it a light watering. And I also, generally speaking, like for 3 waterings, I'll bottom water it because I'm trying to minimize the amount of fungus gnats that come out, and that combined with the mosquito bids and some other stuff. But so I just try to make sure that we minimize that, because last year they went to town, and it was just, they're not dangerous, they're just really annoying. So I do that. I usually bottom water, and then like every 4th watering I'll top water just to kind of flush it out, especially if I'm fertilizing. And I'll be quite honest, typically with my plants, I pretty much fertilize all year round. In the spring and summer, the concentrations are a little heavier, so it's like a half of the recommended dosage. In the winter and late fall, I'll go and do like a quarter. And at some point, I have a video on how I what products I use to support and care for my babies. But anyway, this is the Michelii. Really nice. I know it gets big, but I'm going to have a couple of hard decisions to make in probably about 2 or 3 years with some of these plants. But yeah, it's a beautiful plant. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves. The Michelii. All right, guys. Like I said, what we're going to do is soak them. You know the procedure. We soak them for about 20 minutes in a insecticidal soap bath, and then we let them soak, and we let them just sit in water. Get a cup of water or some type of vessel of water. Let it sit in there for about 24 to 48 hours. Hopefully, sometimes life gets busy, so it may be a little bit after the 48 hours, but it'll be there. And then we'll pot it up in aeroid mix. So, and sometimes when you're letting it soak for that 24 to 48 hour period, you can also, because I've seen people use Super Thrive or some other type of supplement to help, like I think it's B1 or something like that. There's another one that people use to basically help reduce the stress and the trauma of being transported, as well as acclimating to your new environment and getting into a new piece. So It'll be about 48 hours for me, but it'll be about a second for you. I'll show you guys what it looks like when they're potted up. All right, see you guys.